I sure do love it when there's still buildings and stuff like this on the surface of these old mines. Somehow, these have escaped the Forest Service and fires and harsh winters, and they are still standing, barely, but still standing. How cool are these? And look at the old shake roof on that one, the siding. These are fantastic. I am so glad we came across these. Yeah, not too much longer, I'm afraid. Something's been gnawing on the support right there. Let's go look inside. I wait for my friends to catch up. Cook stove there. Yeah, so that tree that came down ripped off the front of the building there, unfortunately. Got a calendar here from 1996. There's more writing here. 1991 hunting dates. Bear season, October 12th, 1991, December 29th, 1991. I think you guys can read the deer stuff. And human beings, no season. Still in the bunkhouse looking around, and I took another look at this 1996 calendar here, and I was able to read it. And it says, honor Mother Nature and Father Time, preserve heritage and respect today. You are a special human being. And over there it says, God bless you. I think it says with peace. Or may God bless you with peace. I think that's peace. It looks kind of like place, but that doesn't really make sense. May God bless you with place. So I think it's peace. And then it says happy 1996 on the left. And behind here it says, please leave at the mine. Please love, Gail. So there you go. The mystery has been deciphered. I don't know if I focus on the little can opener right there, but that's kind of cool as well. Let's go check out that building over there. We just finished checking out that building. We now have this building here, which looks like it might be even older. It's got just these large timbers driven in for a foundation. I'm somewhat amazed it's still standing. I don't see anything modern about this. Just, for example, you just have the shake siding and roof on this one, whereas that one has sheet metal. So this may be the oldest building here. Looks like we're working with a workshop here. Although there are remains of some bed frames and box springs right there. Looks like a windlass in front of me right there. See that? Looks like an old windlass. So presumably, yeah, look. See the thing you turn it with there? Presumably, this all came out of the mine, or was intended to be used in the mine. We're going to go check out. Got some modern PVC pipe up there. So that kind of solidifies my idea. Looks like I got some 9-wire hanging over there. And mine looking stuff you would use in a mine all around me. Looks like the remains of a single jacking drill bit right there. Anyway, it kind of supports the idea of this being the workshop. I guess the lesson of this is to get out in the mountains and the deserts and see these places before they're gone forever. Like I said, if this looks like that after 25-ish years, when it was habitable, it's not going to be around for much longer. So get out and see these treasures while they're still here. All right. it kind of looks like there's something running down that way, kind of. So I think that's kind of the direction the mine's in anyway. So I'm gonna start heading down there. Once we get to the mine, I'll get out the good camera and we can get underground and check things out. In the meantime, I'm still waiting for my friends. Let's see if there's anything else down there. We have crawled into a very low underground placer mine. This is the placer layer above us. You see all the quartz mixed in, which is pretty interesting. And then I'm actually sitting on, well, there's bedrock just beneath me. I'm sitting on gravel and stuff that's come down, but there's bedrock beneath me. And I think there's bedrock right there, just to prove my point. That's the bedrock. This is the plaster layer up above, or excuse me, yes. Plaster layer above, bedrock below. It's been a long day, guys, so I'm tired. But you can see they're carving out the sweet spot through here. And if you look over here, there is a drift carrying off this way. So let's go see where that goes. It's very misty in here, as you can see. They have just worked out all through the bedrock. There's all these passageways running around. It's really interesting. There's a passageway running back through there. You have all this gobbing here, which is stacked up on top of the bedrock right there. And this drift keeps running that way. This is fascinating. Okay, the bedrock is running up. See, now I have bedrock above me, not plaster material. So we're actually a little low for the plaster material, but it looks like they've been carving things out all over the place on the sides. So it probably dips down all over the place through here. There's a little passage running back through there. Can't believe how misty it is back here. Okay, there's another passage. There are passages just running off all over the place through here. That keeps going straight ahead. This was all cleaned out. And the underground placer mines, when they crawl on their bellies and get back in kind of those spaces, that's called breasting. Sometimes it's bigger than them just being on their bellies, but the process is called breasting. Alright, man, these passages are just running all over the place. That one looks like it was filled in. Oh, maybe not. No, it goes around to the right, back that way. Got the rail here. Love seeing the rail. It's a good sign. Got a passage running off that way. I can hear my friends up ahead. Hear what they have to say. Alright, my friends did not hit the end. They said it got a lot bigger, so they came back to get more gear. I know some Myers graffiti here. And here. Kind of hard to read that one. There's some more up here. But I can't make out that one at all. Little pocket up there. Oh, there's a lot of good graffiti here. Looks like it's all from the 50s. carved out area there. And up there. Bedrock on my left. 37. And tons of gobbing on my right. And the attic keeps running ahead. That misty effect is gone now. So it opens up here ahead. Classic underground placer mine look through here. You can see the placer material all through here. Got I think that's 36. Got something going off to the left. Something going to the right. I'll get the right hand rule. So the rail is gone from here. And it's very spacious in here. As you can see, that's a good 15 feet or so overhead. See the old insulators. Oh, okay. Obviously, stope up there. I'll check all this stuff later. I'm just kind of scouting this out now. Alright. And clearly stope up there. Like I said, I'll check these things later. For now, I'm just trying to get a sense of the size of this mine. So I'm going to head back, go down that drift that was on the left. Bunch of gobbing all along there. Oh, look at that. I missed that on the way in. Cool miners graffiti. Okay. Love the rail. You see the bedrock here, right there. That's bedrock. You see the plaster material sitting right on top of it. That's where the gold will be, if there is gold in here. And that depression right there would have been a natural pocket for the gold to collect when the ancient river was flowing through. Really opens up here, kind of messy underground placer mine look. You see there's stuff running off. This is so typical of underground placer mine. They would clear these areas out and they would just fill them full of backfill when they were done picking out what they wanted. Look at the river channel overhead. That is cool. And also, this is the dangerous part of it. Look at these big slabs that came down. Those are big. All right, and there's 660. More slabs. there's something running there. I'm guessing that's the 660 drift. Running back that way. And now we're getting wet. This is, I have a hole in my waders. This is up to my knees. This is turning into the, again, classic underground plaster mine look. Except this one's a bit darker than some of them are. More drifts up that way. Again, check this out on the way out. Did I say drifts? I meant stopes. Yeah, those are stopes. Nice long gallery here. Has an echo even. See how high that runs? That's pretty cool. So the plasma materials, this is interesting. The plasma material is right there. You've got bedrock right here. And this looks like a pyroclastic flow above it. So the bedrock is squeezed in this little area here. I mean, it's not the bedrock. I'm so tired. I'm tired of talking. The plaster material is squeezed in this little narrow area right there. That is really interesting. And then it pinches out completely over here. Drift up there. That's probably original workings, and they ran down. There's a pit right here. There's another stope. Yeah, there's stope right here. Take a closer look at that in a minute. Yeah, that actually looks like it runs back and faces out there. And this keeps going. So we will too. There's some more modern equipment here. Somebody was actually panning out the plaster material they were digging out. Wonder how they did. I hope they did well, but nobody's been here in many years, so maybe they didn't do too well. All the debris material tossed to the left. The attic keeps running straight. Looks like there might be a pump up here. Possibly. Huh. There's a whole workshop back here. From the look of it. Underground workshop. And yeah, it looks like a pump. I don't know how to do right hand rule, but I want to see what this is all about. What is the deal here? Huh, looks like it's a pretty sophisticated operation actually. The electric lights. Okay, so they're, get down here. Water's being pumped out of there. There's a big pool of water there. Looks like a caved or backfilled drift there. Looking ahead, it is a stope or breasting or a stope that ends there. And they breasted off down here as well. That looks like it runs through and ties in over here on this side. So let's go check that rather than fall on our stomach through that section. Yeah, this is pretty fancy. Surprised the claim owner hasn't come back for any of this stuff. Like I said, it's been years since anybody's been here. Another workstation here. You can see he's just barring this stuff down by hand, and then panning it back where all those pans and stuff were. See, just cleaning out pockets like that. Total placer mine. Stope breasting right here. Look at that. It's all river channel overhead. Sorry not being more articulate, guys. It's just been a really, really long day. Should let the video footage do the talking. See the stratification right there. Old timber support here on the ground. Yeah, it keeps running back. We used to have all these chambers and pockets and side drifts running all over the place. This is where we looked through a minute ago, through that little slot right there. Cool pillar right there. Okay, got some support timbers here, which, well, time has moved past them. They're no longer performing their service as intended. Just look at all this river gravel here. Oh man, the mine's making weird noises. Large breasted out area back there. And over here. That probably ties into those workings that we were looking down a minute ago. But we haven't been down here yet. They look like frost. That's mineralization that's built up on these old river rocks. Looks just like frost on a cold winter morning. Really low now. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's really low. Got bedrock pillar here. Side drift there. Bunch of river rock here. I just never fail to be impressed by the look of these ancient river channels. $9.50. Again, right where the plaster material meets the bedrock. That's what the see all these grooves and divots in the bedrock. Miners literally could have been picking gold nuggets out of that. There's gold in the ancient rivers would have gotten trapped there. We are still going, wow. Another pocket. $1,000 feet. It's like a side drift there. And this is continuing this direction on the left. Dead end side drift. Another side drift. Not seeing plaster material here, so I wonder if they lost it and they were looking around for it here. See how they're kind of going off in all directions? I wonder if that's because they were looking for the channel. Yeah, I think all this side drift going off. Pockets. Ah, this is really incredible. All this stuff, these are all old drifts and such. Multiple generations of miners working through here. I think that's it. That is definitely it. That is the face. Like 45 up there. Okay, time to retrace our steps. See what we might have missed. Little pocket right there. People are just, I mean, pretty much everywhere you scratch, you've got the chance of uncovering something. Drift up there. And by something I mean gold. I mean, it's just like in a modern stream. Check all the crevices and cracks, and that's what the miners here were doing. I think there was something going off to the left here, wasn't there? Yeah. It was this one. Alright, yeah, it really does not go anywhere. Good echo though. Alright, I had to check. I thought that might have been something running up, but there's not. So I'm gonna backtrack to the last place where I bypassed something. And I'll pick up from there. Cool shot of the pillars right there, huh? Which came from that direction. We have a drifty looking thing here that we didn't go down yet. I think this is also a dead end. Pretty much. They were poking around a little bit, but I think they were looking for the channel here. This is that section where I didn't see any sign of it, and so I was assuming I had lost it. There's a bunch of waste rock here, but that's probably from elsewhere in the mine. Coming from that direction, a little side drift here, running back that way. This one's really low. It's like an old Budweiser can there. Stuff running back all through there as always. Always stuff running off in all directions. Leads into a chamber here. Man, hard to walk on this stuff. And it stops there. I'm not a geologist, but I think this is charcoaled wood from the pyroclastic flow. Look at that. And you see, oh yeah, that's definitely charcoaled wood. That's crazy. Yeah, we're looking at the remains of ancient forest or jungle or whatever, but there was definitely a lot of vegetation, plant vegetation, swept up from this section. That's really interesting. Wow. That's probably the remains of a full-size tree over my head. Huh. That's one of the better examples I've seen. There's more here. All through, yeah, see the bits of wood still right there? Really interesting. So a layer of it right there. Probably leaves. And oh man, it runs all through it. Look, that looks like the indentations right there. Look like that's from the bark. Wow, that's crazy. I actually see the pattern in the bark still. Wow. It looks like it Just stops right there. That's the adit I came in on. Gone down one of these side drifts. Pretty big chamber. See there's stuff running off over there. And this one terminates up there. Just check down here real quickly. Huh, got a rail here. Looks like this was a decent sized drift at one time. I wonder if that ran through and connected to some of the others we were checking out. There's more of that charcoaled wood. That is really interesting. Wood that's millions of years old. There's no question that's what that is. Yeah. Interesting, I see the pick marks there too. Very interesting. Looking back behind me, I don't think that went anywhere. No. Just a little stopey area here. Okay, that ties into where we looked before. And this just bends around to there. Cool. We were looking down there. There's the main adit down there. Come up in this section. That's where we came in. There's a little mini drifter in there. There's a pit here. And they stoped these areas here out a little bit, as you can see. Take a closer look at this section here. Okay. I think that runs back into the main adit. That tall skinny section runs back there and stops at the end there. That's interesting. That was a piece of wood maybe. This just doesn't go anywhere. This, again, I suspect this wraps around. Little placer niche right there. That was a piece of wood right there. That was a tree. See that? That's amazing. You see the remains of the tree still right there. Huh, actually that faces out right there. I thought that would tie back into the adit, main adit, but faces out. We've been coming from that direction. I'm back in Slab City, where all these big slabs had caved. Here's a closer look at one of them. You see it's like concrete. A couple old shovels here in front of me. And a decent sized drift running back that way, so let's go check it. Man, it is hard getting around some of these placer mines. Looks like they had a rail in here at one time, which is promising. I'm standing up right in the placer, got my head in the placer. Gobbing from floor to ceiling, or floor to back, as the miners call it. Interesting mineralization here. That's a piece of wood, actually. That's not mineralization. That is an old tree, the remains of an old tree. See the pieces of bark? I think there's more old vegetation in this mine, and by old I mean many millions of years old, than any other mine I've been in. instrument in there. Big uncomfortable looking slab right here. I think. Oh, I think we might have run in. I think that we might have seen that chamber back there from the other side. I'll find out in a bit. Meanwhile, we've got this one to contend with. Definitely railing here. This gobbing's pretty awesome too. What's not so awesome is how low this is. Oh man. This is so low. Oh, huh. You don't expect to see that there. Okay. Stand up straight for a second. Chamber here. That's all slabbed down. As you can see. I've crawled through very lengthy sections of that stuff before, and it sucks to do that. That pillar right there. Alright. Let's backtrack and tie in to those stopy things that I passed in the wind. I think are what I was seeing looking through that slot there. That's where we've been looking. That is the way out. And you'll recall that there were those chambers or stopes back here that I didn't feel like going up at the time, but that I said that I would check out later. So that's where I'm headed now. And like I said, I think we looked through to these from that drift where we just were. We'll find out very shortly. So there's this one right up there, and this one here. I just climbed up from down there, and you can see this looks more exploratory in nature. I don't see that they were taking out a lot of material here. It's more like they were looking for the channel again. Like I said, the channel comes and goes as violent geological activity takes place. It can get folded back on itself or shoved hundreds of feet out of alignment with the rest of the channel. I mean, all kinds of crazy things happen over millions of years of geology. So you never know what you're going to find, and the miners would explore around trying to find other patches of it. I'll go look up that one that was on the left or right on the way in. Just looked up that one. Now I don't know if I'm even going to bother climbing this one. I'm going to look up it from here and see. Oh yeah. See, again, they didn't take a bunch of material out. They were running up like they were looking for the channel, but they didn't make that very big. That's, with all that stuff in there now, that's maybe a foot. So even if I wanted to, I wouldn't have an easy time getting up that. But yeah, it's all filled in now. Coming from that direction, one last little section to check out. I'll climb up there and pick up from there. I came from down there. I'm in this cool gobbing drift, for lack of a better description, but I think that fits from what we can see. Stop there, and comes back here and is all slabbed out back here. This is all the pyroclastic mud flow here. Look at the size of these massive slabs. Those are all, that's the size of a bus right there. The size of a car in front of me. These are all car sized. That one's a bit smaller, but these are all car sized. This is all that fractured pyroclastic mud. Crazy. I love it. And it's gobbing all the way through on the right. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. We just looked up there along the gobbing drift. There's a little gobbing crawl space right here that meanders back there and ties in with the workings we saw from the main adit there. So they definitely worked this area.